Warning, if you're over 60 and need two hands to get off the toilet, your leg muscles are in red alert. But what if the real culprit is hiding in your vegetable drawer? Today, I'll show you the 4 healthy vegetables silently draining your strength, and the 4 that can help restore it, so you stay mobile, strong, and independent. After 60, your body doesn't process food the way it used to. Certain vegetables, even ones labeled healthy, can trigger inflammation, joint pain, and even memory decline. I've seen it again and again in my clinic. But there's good news. A few specific vegetables actually do the opposite, healing your gut, brain, and bones from the inside out. So, today I'll walk you through the 4 worst vegetables to avoid, and 4 you'll want to eat every single week. And the second one on our must-eat list, it acts like a repair crew for your brain. 1. Eggplant, the silent joint destroyer. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 72, retired carpenter, still proud, still sharp. But each morning, it was the same story. His knees felt like they were welded shut. He told me, "Doc, I just thought I was getting old. But why does it feel like there's sand in my joints?" Turns out, it wasn't age, it was eggplant. Eggplant belongs to a group of plants called nightshades, and hidden inside them is a compound called solanine. For younger folks, that's no big deal. But once you're over 60, even small things can have loud consequences. Solanine can quietly disrupt how your body handles calcium, pulling it out of your bones and misplacing it into your soft tissue, into your joints, your arteries, even your kidneys. It's like someone rewired your plumbing, and now the minerals flow where they shouldn't. And when that happens, swelling, stiffness, pressure that doesn't make sense. Now, here's what most people don't realize. A study from 2023 found that older adults who simply removed nightshades like eggplant saw lower inflammation within just 8 weeks. Frank gave it a try. He cut out eggplant. No big diet, no pills, just that one change. And 3 weeks later, he called me and said, "Doc, I knelt down to tie my shoe and realized I wasn't in pain." So, if you're waking up achy or your knees feel locked after sitting too long, try taking eggplant off your plate for a month. You might be shocked what changes when you remove what your body's been fighting in silence. 2. Green bell peppers, the gut barrier breaker. Now let me introduce you to Martha. She's 70, grandmother of 4, always sharp, always prepared. But lately, she couldn't focus. She kept losing her words mid-sentence. Wrote everything down because she didn't trust her memory anymore. Her labs, all clean. Blood pressure, sugar, thyroid, nothing flagged. She looked at me and said, "Is this what it feels like to start slipping?" What Martha didn't know was that the problem wasn't in her brain. It was in her gut. And it started with a vegetable she thought was healthy. Green bell peppers. You see, green bell peppers, like other unripe nightshades, are high in lectins. And lectins can act like little razor blades. They slice through the lining of your gut wall, creating tiny leaks that let undigested food and toxins slip into your bloodstream. Your body panics. It sends out an immune response. And for seniors, that invisible gut reaction can show up as brain fog, joint pain, or fatigue. A 2022 study from Gastroenterology Insights found that elevated lectin intake was linked to increased gut permeability, especially in older adults with slower digestive turnover. In plain English, what you eat can literally poke holes in the wall between your gut and your brain. Martha didn't need medication. She just swapped her green bell peppers for red and yellow ones, which are lower in lectins and easier to digest. 3 weeks in, she told me, "I don't forget what I walked into the room for anymore. If you've been feeling foggy or your digestion feels off more often than it used to, try this swap. Drop the green peppers, give your gut lining a chance to rebuild, and you may be stunned what comes back online." 3. White potatoes. The blood sugar. Bomb. George never thought of himself as unhealthy. He was 68, walked every morning, didn't eat junk, but the weight around his belly wouldn't budge. His energy dipped after lunch. And worse, he started forgetting simple things: names, dates, appointments. He told me, "Doc, I don't get it. I eat clean, mostly whole foods. I even bake my own potatoes." That last part, that was the issue. White potatoes may look innocent, but inside, they're a metabolic landmine. Why? Because they hit your blood sugar faster than table sugar. Their glycemic index, 85. That means the moment you eat them, your blood sugar spikes and your body panics. It sends out a wave of insulin to lower it, and then cortisol to mop up the crash. But when you do this over and over, especially after 60, when insulin sensitivity drops, your system starts to fray. Fat stores pile up. Your brain tires out. And inflammation creeps in like fog across a field. A 2019 meta-review in the Diabetes and Aging Journal found that high glycemic foods like white potatoes were directly linked to increased belly fat and accelerated cognitive decline in adults over 65. George wasn't overeating. He was eating the wrong carb at the wrong time. So I gave him one small change: no more white potatoes at lunch or dinner. Instead, swap in fiber-rich carbs, lentils, roasted sweet potatoes, even mashed cauliflower, and always pair with healthy fats and greens to slow absorption. 4 weeks later, George came back grinning. "Doc, I didn't change anything else, and I've dropped 12 pounds. Here's the truth most people don't hear. It's not just about what you eat. It's when and how your body handles it, especially after 60. Potatoes aren't evil, but your body? It's playing by a different rule book now. 4. Tomatoes, excess, the calcium thief. Gloria loved her garden. Every summer, she'd pick tomatoes by the bucket, made her own sauce, ate them fresh with olive oil and salt. But then came the leg cramps, random stiffness in her hands, and a surprise from her DEXA scan. Her bone density had dropped. She was shocked. "But I'm doing everything right. I eat clean. I even take calcium." What Gloria didn't realize was that the tomatoes she cherished might have been stealing from her bones. Here's why. Like eggplant, tomatoes are part of the nightshade family, and they also contain solanine, a natural pesticide that, in small amounts, isn't harmful. But in aging bodies, solanine does something sneaky. It interferes with how your bones hold on to calcium. It's like a magnet pulling minerals out of your skeleton and depositing them in places they don't belong: your joints, your arteries, your kidneys. A 2021 study in Bone Metabolism Review found that solanine intake from uncooked tomatoes contributed to calcium loss in postmenopausal women, especially when paired with low magnesium intake. Translation: too much raw tomato, not enough buffering minerals, and your bones slowly pay the price. So here's the shift. Limit raw tomato to 1/2 cup per day, and always combine it with healthy fat, like olive oil, to slow the solanine effect. Better yet, cook your tomatoes. Heat reduces solanine levels significantly and boosts lycopene, a powerful antioxidant for heart and prostate health. Gloria made the switch, roasted her tomatoes instead of eating them raw, and at her next bone scan, the loss had stabilized. She told me, "I thought I had to give up my garden. Turns out, I just had to change how I used it." And that's the gentle truth most people miss. It's not always what you eat, it's how you prepare it. That determines whether it hurts you or heals you. 5. Broccoli, the brain's bodyguard. Frank didn't expect his brain to slow down. He was 72, still drove to the store, still read the paper front to back. But lately, something had shifted. He told me, "Doc, I keep rereading the same paragraph. Feels like my focus just slips." He thought it was just age, but I asked him something simple. How often are you eating broccoli? He laughed. Doc, I've hated that stuff since the 60s. Here's what most people don't realize. Broccoli isn't just a vegetable. It's biological armor for your brain. It contains a compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane is like a key, a molecular key that unlocks a hidden switch in your cells called NRF2. When that switch flips, your body activates its natural antioxidant defense system, especially in the brain. It's like flipping the circuit breaker that tells your neurons, you're safe, you can repair now. In 2017, researchers publishing in Cell Reports found that sulforaphane improved brain resilience and memory retention by increasing glutathione levels, one of the most powerful internal antioxidants we make, but one that declines rapidly after age 60. Frank didn't need a pill. He just needed a pattern. So I gave him this habit: steam broccoli 3 to 4 times per week. Never boil. Drizzle with olive oil. Add garlic if you like. Eat it warm, ideally with lunch. 3 weeks in, Frank came back with a grin. Doc, I finally finished that book and remembered every chapter. Your brain doesn't stop working because it's old. Sometimes it just needs the right tools to flip the switch back on. 6. Spinach, the memory protector. Maggie always prided herself on being sharp. 74 years old, former librarian, still organized, still meticulous. But recently, she started second-guessing herself. I used to remember every birthday in the family, she told me. Now I'm triple-checking my grocery list, and I still forget the eggs. Her words were calm, but the fear underneath, it was real. The brain doesn't just need stimulation, it needs fuel, and more importantly, it needs protection. That's where spinach comes in. Spinach is rich in folate, a B vitamin that helps keep something called homocysteine in check. And here's the part most people don't realize. When homocysteine builds up, it acts like rust in the brain. It slows your mental gears, clogs your memory pathways. And in high amounts, it's been linked to cognitive decline and even dementia. But folate, especially from whole food sources like spinach, helps sweep that rust away. It's like sending a tiny repair crew down your brain's highways, cleaning up the clutter so your thoughts can flow again. In the 2022 Tilda study out of Trinity College Dublin, adults over 65 who ate leafy greens daily showed sharper memory and faster recall, especially those with lower baseline folate levels. Maggie didn't change her whole diet. She just started adding 1 cup of spinach to her lunch every day, sautéed with olive oil or blended into her smoothie. And within a month, she said, "It feels like the light came back on. I trust my brain again." Sometimes healing your memory starts with believing it can heal. So I'll ask you gently, have you been blaming yourself for forgetting things when maybe your brain just needed a little help? Because every memory matters, and every day you nourish it is a step toward getting it back. 7. Sweet potatoes, the vision guardian. Eleanor never feared aging, but she feared losing her independence. She was 76, lived alone, still drove herself to church on Sundays. But lately, street signs looked blurrier. She squinted more often, and one morning she missed the curb and nearly fell. She told me, "I can live with wrinkles. I just don't want to lose my eyes." Here's something most people miss. Your eyes age faster than you think, and one key reason: oxidative stress. The back of your eye, the retina, is one of the most oxygen-hungry tissues in your body. Over time, exposure to light, inflammation, and blood sugar spikes slowly damage the retinal cells. But sweet potatoes, they're like sunlight, in reverse. They don't wear your eyes down. They help them rebuild. Sweet potatoes are rich in beta-carotene, the orange pigment your body converts into vitamin A. And vitamin A is essential for the health of your retina, your lens, and especially your macula, the part of your eye responsible for sharp central vision. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science, seniors who consumed beta-carotene-rich foods at least 3 times per week saw a 25% lower risk of age-related vision decline. Eleanor made one small shift. She baked 2 sweet potatoes on Sundays, kept them in the fridge, and had half a potato with her lunch each day. Within 2 months, her eyes felt steadier, her night vision improved, and the best part? She picked her great-granddaughter up from daycare and didn't have to squint to see her smile. Your eyes don't just help you see, they help you stay present for who matters most. So, if your eyes feel tired, if menus seem harder to read, don't wait. Your vision doesn't just fade on its own, but the right nutrients, at the right time, can help you hold on to the view that matters most. 8. Red cabbage, the circulation booster. Not long ago, I saw Paul, 75, widower, Vietnam vet, still sharp in mind, but struggling with something that was hard to talk about. He said, "Doc, I feel off. I'm not sick, but I'm not right. I'm bloated, foggy. And honestly, I haven't felt like myself in months." We ran labs, nothing stood out. But one thing kept coming up in his story. "I stopped eating roughage. My stomach just doesn't like salad anymore." That's when the light bulb went off. Because for seniors, digestion shifts in quiet ways. Your gut lining thins, stomach acid lowers. And without the right kind of fiber, your microbiome, the good bacteria that run your immune system, memory, and energy, start to fade. That's where red cabbage comes in. Red cabbage isn't just crunch, it's a gut-healing powerhouse. It contains anthocyanins, the same compounds that give blueberries their color, and these help reduce gut inflammation while nourishing beneficial bacteria. Plus, red cabbage is packed with insoluble fiber, the kind that acts like a broom, sweeping waste through the colon and helping your digestion stay on rhythm. In a 2021 study from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, red cabbage extract was shown to support gut wall regeneration and reduce symptoms of leaky gut in aging digestive tissue. Paul didn't need more pills. He just added this: 1 serving of lightly sautéed red cabbage with lunch or dinner, 3 to 4 times per week. He called me 3 weeks later. "Doc, my belly doesn't feel tight anymore. I wake up clear. I feel lighter in my own skin." What if the brain fog wasn't in your head? So if your body's been whispering that something's off, don't ignore it. Try giving your gut the food it actually understands, and see what starts working again. Because sometimes the repair starts in the most forgotten place. You've made it all the way here. And maybe, like many of my patients, you're starting to see a quiet truth take shape. Your strength didn't just vanish with age, your memory didn't just fade overnight, and your independence, it's not gone. It's been asking for the right support. The good news, you now know 4 vegetables to remove and 4 to bring back in. That's not a diet, that's a return to balance. These small choices, a swap here, a steam there, a spoonful less, they're not about perfection. They're about presence, being more here, for your walks, for your stories, for the ones who still reach for your hand. This isn't just about food, it's about getting yourself back. So here's what I'll ask. Try removing the 4 worst vegetables for just 2 weeks. Choose 2 of the healing ones to add back in this week. And most of all, notice how your body responds. Then come back. Leave a comment. Tell me what changed. Because this isn't the end of your story. It's just the beginning of listening to your body and watching it thank you in ways you didn't think were still possible.